Hey guys, and welcome. Today is going to be what's for dinner using my Instant Pot. So I recently got my Instant Pot and I can tell you guys I'm obsessed. I held off for a really long time because I was always using my crock pot and I was like, I don't need it. Well, let me just tell you, oh my goodness, I've been missing out. So I am trying to play catch up and I am trying to use that thing as much as possible. There's days where I use it twice in one day. I am obsessed. So this video is actually in collaboration with Amber over at Housewifeglamlife. She has been killing it on the what's for dinner lately. I watch her videos and I get so inspired and motivated to make a nice meal. Everything that she makes looks so delicious. Amber, I'm coming over. Let me know when I can come over for dinner. But seriously, so if you guys aren't familiar with her channel, I will link everything down below. You have to go check out her channel. She does a lot of what's for dinner, DIYs, cleaning motivation. Her channel is very similar to mine and we've become such good friends and I just love watching her videos, so I know you guys will too. These recipes are basically, I was just kind of trying to think of like really quick recipes that I could make that basically I was trying to see what all I could cook in that thing, and I'm trying to make everything, seriously. But these little things that I'm going to show you guys are mostly either sides, like something I made to go with something, or I found something online that I was like, okay, I have that in the house, I'm going to give that a shot. So I can honestly say everything that I've made in it has turned out amazing so far. I cannot get over the hard-boiled eggs, like how perfect they are. I will show you the second recipe I'm going to show you guys is probably my favorite, and it is so stinking easy. So if you guys are ready to see some super easy Instant Pot recipes, let's get into it. All right, so I know that you guys have seen these at the store before, these little pasta sides. They come in rice sides as well, and they are $1. My girls love to eat these. They think that they're mac and cheese, which they pretty much are. So I have found that you can just throw all of the ingredients in the Instant Pot. You don't have to watch it on the stove. So this just calls for a cup of water, a little bit of milk. I want to say I did like 3/4 of a cup, and a little bit of butter. And I just throw this in there. I stir it up a little bit and I put it in the Instant Pot for about 7 to 8 minutes. And it just comes out perfect. And what I have found that you do a quick release as soon as it's done, and then if it's not thick enough, what I do is I turn on the saute and I just let it cook for a couple minutes. Keep stirring it because it will stick to the bottom, and that just thickens up the sauce super easy. So I found that you can do with these sides, or you can even throw in like their mac and cheese, like mac and cheese box. And these just are so quick and easy, and you don't have to watch it. That's the part I love, because I'm always watching it on the stove and it's boiling over, you know. So yeah, this turned out absolutely perfect and the kids just love it. All right, this one is by far my favorite, and you are just going to need a bag of the frozen popcorn chicken. I just got the Kroger brand, and I picked out the P.F. Chang's sesame sauce, and the sauce is so yummy. And I ended up using about half of the bottle, and I just poured it into the Instant Pot, and then you're gonna go ahead and add the chicken to it. I used about half a bag of the popcorn chicken, so this made this meal twice, because I still had half of the jar and then half of the chicken left. So you're just gonna wanna add half of the chicken and stir it together. And then I wanted to make sure that I had enough liquid in there, so I actually put a little bit more water into the jar and poured it in there. This was the second time making it, so I was using the last half of the jar. If you're wondering why it's empty, that's why. And then you're gonna wanna go ahead and close it on up, make sure it's on sealing, and you're gonna set the timer for about 8 minutes on, I just used my manual, and I guess I did 9 minutes, sorry. So yeah, just do the manual, and then afterwards you're gonna do a quick release. And now it's done. I'm just gonna stir it together a bit, and same thing, if it's not thick enough for you, you can go ahead and hit saute, but I think this is perfect. So then to go with it, I just made a little bit of rice. It's microwave rice, just made it in the microwave, and then I cut up some green onions and put some sesame seeds on here, and it was delicious. I thought I was eating out at P.F. Chang's. Okay, who else has kids that love ramen noodles? My girls absolutely love them. My 5-year-old asks for them all the time. So I thought I would make a little soup. So I'm using the chicken tortilla flavor, and I just have these frozen veggies that I picked up from Kroger, and it's got the carrots, celery, and onions, so it's gonna bring awesome flavor. So what you're gonna do with this is just put the noodles in the bottom of the Instant Pot, And then make sure you add in the flavor seasoning as well. And then you can go ahead and add in your vegetables. And you could even make this with chicken too. I was just trying to make it really, really quickly. And then I went ahead and added 3 cups of water because I wanted to be more like a soup. And then you are just gonna close the lid and make sure it is on a sealing. And I'm only gonna cook this one for about 4 minutes because I didn't want them to turn out super soggy. And the 4 minutes actually turned out to be perfect. And then I had some of those green onions from the last dish, so I just went ahead and threw those on top, and there you have it. This was delicious, and I could not believe these were 30-cent ramen noodles. All right, so this next one, this was a little tricky. I found this recipe online. I'm gonna be making a quiche. Yep, that's right, a quiche. So for this, you're gonna need to make a little sling out of foil so that you can put your bowl on top of it and it'll be easier to take out when it's finished. So I went ahead and added a cup of water first, and I have all my ingredients here already ready just so I could pour them in the bowl and show you guys. So I'm using 8 eggs, half a cup of milk, half a cup of flour, and then for the other ingredients, I actually had a cup of each already cut up, like for the sausage, the cheese, and the tomatoes, but the bowl is not very big, so I ended up not using everything. I just kind of added the ingredients until I didn't think any more would fit into the bowl. So that one, it depends on how big your container is that you're putting this in inside the Instant Pot. If it's bigger, then you could totally use more ingredients, but I didn't want to run out of room. So what I just poured in now, these are apple chicken sausages, and they are so yummy. We got them at Costco. And then the tomatoes, it's actually a can of Rotel. I drained it so that it didn't have all the sauce in there, and I basically only used about half of that. Once I finished stirring this up, I added it to the bowl, and then I added a little more ingredients to it, which I wanted to make sure it all fixed. I wasn't sure how much this would expand because I figured the eggs would expand a little bit, so I just wanted to make sure that we had enough room. And then once you get all of your ingredients in there, you're going to want to go ahead and cover it with some foil and then carefully set it into the Instant Pot. And then for this, you're going to want to make sure it's on sealing again, and we are going to go ahead and cook it for 30 minutes. Then once the timer goes off for this one, you're actually not going to do a quick release. You're going to let it sit and just natural release for 10 minutes. And then after the 10 minutes, you can go ahead and make sure the little red thingy is down before you open it, and then go ahead and open the lid and carefully take it out. And then once it was all finished, I went ahead and added a little bit more of the mozzarella cheese on top and then covered it with the foil to just kind of melt and soften a little bit. And I totally forgot to take video of when I cut it so I could show you guys the inside, but it turned out so yummy. So this was one of my favorites too. All right, for this next one, we are going to be making mac and cheese. This is like homemade mac and cheese. Well, ish. I didn't make the noodles, but you know. So you're just going to want to go ahead and pick whatever noodles you want. My girls wanted the shells, so I'm going to go ahead and throw the whole entire bag in there. Next, I'm going to be adding 4 cups of chicken broth. This is going to give it so much more flavor rather than just using regular water. Next, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of butter and just stir it together. I'm also adding a little bit of garlic salt for some added flavor as well. Then you're just going to want to make sure that everything is nicely stirred together, and you're going to put the lid on and make sure it is on sealing. And you're going to want to cook it, I'm just using my manual again, for 5 minutes. And then make sure you do a quick release once that timer goes off, and now it is time to add the cheese. I'm just adding a cup of cheese, and then I'm going to add about a half a cup of milk and just stir it all together. The recipe that I used actually called for way more milk than was needed, so I just kind of added a little bit, stirred it together, and I realized I really did not need any more. And then I did have some extra of those little green onions, so I added those to it as well. I don't know why, but I just think those give dishes such awesome flavor, and I just love them. And then I also added a little bit of Parmesan cheese as well. Alright guys, that does it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you guys like the recipe videos because I will totally do more. So thank you guys so much for watching and we'll see you all soon. Bye.